Smoked cinnamon apples on Smokin' and Drinkin'. Hey, welcome back to Smokin' and Drinkin'. I'm Mike, and today we're going to make smoked cinnamon apples like Mom used to make. Kinda. Back when I was a kid, Mom used to make baked apples in the oven and around fall time, and it just was something that we loved. And so today we're going to make that recipe, kind of. We're going to do it on the Traeger instead of in the oven, and it'll take me back to when I was a kid. So let's get started. So we're going to do, what do we got? 3, 6, 7 apples. 6 of them are Gala apples, and then I have 1 Granny Smith. But we're going to core the apples, and then we're going to mix up a filling, and it is going to consist of half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of chopped walnuts, a tablespoon of white sugar, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and just a little bit of vanilla, probably about a teaspoon. And we're going to put a cinnamon stick in it, because that's the way Mom used to do it. Mom used to make it. She'd core the apple. She'd put in cinnamon and sugar and little red hot candies, and then a cinnamon stick. Couldn't find any red hot candies, but we're going to just do it this way, and we'll see how it goes. We're going to put it in our cast iron skillet, but let's get these cored first. So I'm going to use my corer that a friend of mine, Chad, gave me. I used it on the jalapeno poppers. If you've seen that video, I'll put a link here so you can check that out. But I'm going to try it on the apple, see if we can core an apple that way. So it's kind of a corkscrew type of core, and just gonna, you just stick it in the middle, and you kind of twist. You can't put too much pressure on it, or you'll bend the core, evidently. This may or may not work. I've never tried it, but let's just see what happens here. Okay, so it might work, kind of. Okay, I don't think that's going to work. We're going to have to use a knife. That's okay. We can adapt. Might work better to use a knife anyway. That way we can get all of that core out, make a little more room for our filling. That core isn't real big. It only makes about a half-inch core hole. So that made this a good start for us, but we're just going to core it out with a knife. We might have to move to just a teaspoon. Probably have to use a spoon to get that out of there. I'll go ahead and do these. This is not an exciting video, so we'll be back in just a minute when we get all these cored. This corer seemed to work a little better on these Gala apples than the Granny Smith. Maybe they're a little softer, or maybe I just getting a little more practice at it, but works pretty good, at least to get them started. Kind of have to dig out a little cavity inside so we can get some more filling in there. Nice thing about this core, it's serrated all the way around the edge, so you can kind of hovel that out. Oh, hovel, that is a word from my parents' days. Some variety of German, or some not real German, but hovel that out. That's what my dad used to say. It means hollow it out, I think. In his mind, that's what he meant. Anyway, that works pretty good. A nice cavity in there. Let's get this over. We're going to do them on the cast iron skillet. So I'm going to put them, I want to kind of lean them all against each other so that they stand up a little better. Kind of have to see how they lean naturally and lean them into towards the center. There we go. All right, that takes care of that. And then we need to mix up our filling. So we are going to take our, first what we need to do, I don't think I mentioned it, a stick of butter. We need to melt a stick of butter. It's pretty soft. It's been sitting out for just a little bit, but we need to make, it needs to be melted. So we'll just pop that in the microwave for a minute and get it melted, and we'll be right back. All right, got our butter mostly melted. That's very soft. That's going to be no problem. So we have a stick of butter, and we're going to add our half a cup of brown sugar to it, and just kind of combine that. Make sure it's all blended in there. All right. Then we're going to add our tablespoon of white sugar, our tablespoon of cinnamon, and our half a cup of chopped walnuts. Before we do that, let's add our dash of vanilla. Not even going to measure, just gonna guess. I'm gonna be a little careful with vanilla. That's about maybe a teaspoon. Vanilla is very strong and it can overpower if you're not careful. But I made that myself, vanilla extract. That turned out real nice. It's a lot cheaper than buying it in the store. And then let's add our walnuts into our filling. Get it all combined real well. Oh boy, it's already taking me back. Oh, that smells delicious. You want to get got a little bit of cinnamon up my nose there. Want to get it all blended real well, and then we're going to just fill the cavity we made in our apples with our cinnamon and sugar and walnut filling. Get everyone filled up to the brim. Want to have that filling. That one's overflowing. That's all right. Doesn't matter if it overflows. I'm probably going to pour the rest of the filling around the edges anyway. But, oh, that's delicious. I know you're not supposed to take a peek, take a sneak taste, but all right. And then I don't really have to add these cinnamon sticks. It's more of an homage to Mom and the way she did it. But it also helps make sure you get, probably break them in half. Let's try that. See if we can break these babies. Oh yeah, they break real easy. Just stick it down in there. That'll add some extra cinnamon flavor. That's almost like one there. There we go. off without making a mess. There. Drop that back in. All right. I think I am going to just, do we want to put that on in the pan or will it just burn? I think we'll hold off on that. We're going to put just a little more on the top. Probably getting greedy, but it's such a good filling. I hate to just let it go. I won't waste it. I'll use it on something. We'll figure something out. Maybe we'll save it for when they come off the smoker. And speaking of smoker, you want to use, I'm going to use apple pellets. Kind of makes sense. Apple pellets for apple. You could use like a pecan. That would be good too. Maybe a mixture of apple and pecan, but we're gonna use apple. So let's get out to the Traeger and get these going. We'll leave them on for probably 60 to 90 minutes. We'll check them at 60 minutes. You want them to be pretty soft, but not just obliterated. So we'll put them on. We'll check them at 60 minutes and then again at 90. So let's get out to the smoker. Okay, we've got our Traeger up to 225. I don't know if I mentioned that. See, I got a little heavy-handed with one of those. Kind of split it out, but that's okay. It'll be fine. The cinnamon filling will paste it shut. All right, so we're going to get these on the Traeger. Turn it around this way. Like I said, 225 for 60 to 90 minutes. And we'll check back in. All right, let's check. And it's been about an hour, just shy of an hour. Let's check it and see how they're doing. Oh, they look nice. I'm going to just probe from the inside. Yeah, they're still pretty firm. I think we're going to, we need to go at least another 30 minutes. We'll check back in. Okay, it's been a total of an hour and a half. Let's see how the apples are doing. They look nice. They're getting pretty close. I think maybe another 20, 30 minutes. They're still a little firm. So we'll check back again. I noticed that the temperature, I had it at 225 and it was only going at about 218. Probably because it's kind of cool out. So I bumped it up to 250 and it's running at about 230. So that could be why it's taking a little longer. All right, we got the smoked cinnamon apples off the Traeger. It took about 2 hours. I think a big part of that was we weren't up to 225 for at least 30 minutes of it. It's pretty cool out, so sometimes you gotta crank that smoker up a little higher. So we bumped it up to 250 and then it was keeping it around 225, 230. So, all in all, it took about 2 hours, but normally it should only take about an hour and a half. But they're pretty good now. So they're nice and tender. They smell fabulous. I can't wait to dig into it. Let's plate one up here and just see. Let's do this one. How about this one right here? There's some juice in the bottom of it. Let's see if I can show you that. There's some buttery, juicy sauce in the bottom. Some of that's from the apple. Some of it's from the filling that we put in there. But oh boy, I just can't wait. Let's dig into this. That's going to be delicious. All right, let's slide this aside. I'm going to take that cinnamon stick out of there. Lay that aside. Just gonna slice this off a piece here. Oh boy. That is gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be pretty hot. Let's give that a try. This would be awesome with a big scoop of ice cream. Might have to do that. Let's give this a try. Oh wow. Oh, that is, get a little bit of nuts on there. Try it again. It's buttery, it's cinnamony, a little bit of nutty, and wow, all of the ingredients just meld so nicely together. That is just delicious. That's a winner. I like that. We're going to serve that with, that's going to be a nice dessert for tonight's dinner. Wow, that is awesome. Well, that does it. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Smokin' and Drinkin'. As always, hit that like and subscribe and notification bell, and that way you get all of our videos as they come out. And I need to have another bite of that. You have to give Mrs. Smokin' Drinkin' out here to try that too. Anyway, as always, Prost!